I'm claiming half of your fortune, right down to your late grandmother's legacy, Derek proclaimed with a self-satisfied smirk, his words ringing out in the courtroom as if he were declaring a jackpot win. The arrogance in his delivery twisted my gut, yet I stayed composed at the defense table. My name is Emily Thompson. At 46, I never pictured myself in a family court in Austin, Texas, witnessing my spouse of 6 years try to seize all I'd built over decades. Derek lounged opposite with his lawyer, acting as though victory was already his. His tailored outfit, one I'd funded naturally, was impeccably crisp, and his sandy locks were combed back in that style that once enchanted me but now repulsed me. Your Honor, Derek's counsel pressed on, my client deserves an equal split of marital property, encompassing the significant bequest Ms. Thompson acquired while wedded. The attorney's folder brimmed with files, each detailing Derek's scheme to depart with my grandmother's lifelong savings. I noticed the onlookers edging forward, captivated by what they figured was a hefty payout drama. A couple were likely tallying figures mentally, speculating on Derek's haul. A handful of journalists had arrived, lured by rumors of a high-stakes split featuring a notable Austin entrepreneur. Judge Harlan, a no-nonsense man in his late 50s with a salt and pepper beard, scanned the filings impassively. With decades in domestic disputes, he'd probably encountered every ploy imaginable. Yet I sensed he hadn't anticipated my counter. Derek pivoted in his seat to shoot me a smug leer, the nerve of it igniting my fury. This was the guy who'd once delivered breakfast trays to our bedroom, swearing his affection was genuine, not material. 6 years tied, and it had all been deception. The chamber felt stifling, with its oak walls and the gravity of justice looming. Beyond, Austin City buzz filtered in faintly, folks carrying on routinely while my existence was picked apart publicly. I gripped my handbag firmly, sensing the packet within that would flip the script. Ms. Thompson, Judge Harlan spoke to me outright. Any rebuttal to these assertions? I rose deliberately, pulse racing, but determination unyielding. This was my pivotal instant, where Derek's avarice would rebound. Your Honor, there's evidence the bench must examine. In hindsight, the red flags were glaring from our early days. Derek had captivated me amid a tough phase. I'd hit 40, managing my digital marketing agency, Sparkline Strategies, with steady growth, but scant personal time. My grandmother had been my anchor until passing 4 years prior to meeting Derek. And her absence still stung when he emerged at a tech summit in Dallas. He was engaging, devoted, and appeared truly keen on my expertise in boosting online brands for startups. You're a genius, he'd remark, observing me analyze campaign metrics. No one's grasp on data matches yours. Back then, I took it as admiration for my smarts. Today, I see he was appraising my wealth. Our romance swirled with upscale meals and exotic trips. Derek held a position as a regional sales director for a tech firm, yet he always splurged on opulent outings. I invest in those I value. He'd respond to my queries on expenses. Flattered by his focus and largesse, I overlooked his ulterior motives. When Derek popped the question after 9 months, I wavered. Grandmother had cautioned against hasty unions. But Derek persisted. Why delay when certainty strikes, he'd urge. I know my heart, and it's yours. The setup was grand, a secluded yacht dinner with a string ensemble performing our tunes. The diamond was exquisite, likely exceeding his yearly pay, though I ignored that then. My lawyer, Sandra Klein, pushed for a premarital contract. Any savvy executive needs safeguards, she'd advised. It's pragmatic, not poetic. Broaching it with Derek felt clumsy, fearing he'd see distrust or materialism. But Derek's reply stunned me. He chuckled and dismissed it casually. Sure, love, if it eases your mind, I'm in this for you. Not your assets. He inked it unread, quipping that romance skips the legalese. His nonchalant vibe reassured me my fears were baseless. Merely a sentimental step, he'd noted, dashing his name with flair, akin to vows but wordier. Relief washed over me at his empathy. Sandra had been meticulous, shielding current holdings plus prospective windfalls or expansions. Grandmother's holdings will pass to you someday, she'd noted. This keeps them yours alone. Seemed excessive then. Now prophetic. The bombshell hit, 2 years wedded, via a notification of grandmother's bequest. She'd willed it all, her residence, portfolio, antique art, and $3.5 million in prudent investments. Beyond my dreams, it revolutionized my finances instantly. Derek's response was revealing, though I missed it initially. His gaze sparkled at the sum. 3.5 mil, he'd echoed incredulously. Emily, we've hit the big time. That we've was a giveaway soon after. Derek's extravagance escalated. He resigned within 8 months, citing desires for fresh ventures and backing my triumphs. Instead, he treated my funds as his slush fund, acquired a high-end SUV for connections, sank $40,000 into a pal's startup flop, sans input, arranged lavish escapes, enrolled in a posh tennis club, and attired as if born affluent. Each challenge met reminders of partnership and fiscal faith. The tipping point arrived 7 months back, overhearing him boast at the club that the windfall was joint family riches. He posed as a venture capitalist. Omitting it stemmed from my grandmother's diligence, confronting his falsehoods and splurges. Derek turned hostile, then vicious. Admit it, you married beneath you, he'd sneered. Pre-me, you were a solitary grind with zero fun. His barbs stung, holding partial truth. Loneliness had plagued me. Derek injected vitality and company. Yet I grasped his extended ploy, posing as rescuer while scheming to appropriate my gains. The clincher unearthed emails plotting divorce tactics with his counsel, timed for max gain. He'd scoured Texas statutes, arguing his companionship merited more. That's when I re-engaged Sandra and initiated separation myself. No letting Derek dictate terms. If he craved battle over grandmother's funds, he'd get one, on my turf. Now in court, I was set to unveil to Derek and all his folly's price. I delved into my bag for the folder Sandra had readied. Silence enveloped the space, save paper whispers and AC drone. Derek's poise wavered as I neared the judge. Your Honor, I stated firmly, this paper demands review prior to any split talks. Judge Harlan took it. What's this, Ms. Thompson? A premarital pact, Your Honor, inked by my spouse pre-wedding 6 years past. The room's vibe shifted charged. Derek's lawyer, a lanky fellow named Victor Lang, bolted upright. Your Honor, no such pact was disclosed. This is improper. Settle, Mr. Lang, Judge Harlan ordered, unsealing it. I receded, eyes on Derek. His demeanor morphed from assured to baffled to alarmed in moments. He murmured heatedly to Victor, motioning benchward. Snatches reached me. She omitted, impossible? Sandra Klein stayed serene nearby. Months of prep made our plan airtight. Observe, she murmured smilingly. Judge Harlan pored over pages methodically. The pact was exhaustive. Sandra's handiwork from yesteryear. It specified shielded properties, isolated obligations, and crucially, inheritance treatment. This seems a duly formed premarital pact, Judge Harlan declared post-review. Dated 7 weeks prenuptials, notarized twice, endorsed by both. Victor appeared deflated. Evidently, he'd launched sans vetting basics, presuming, like Derek, an easy plunder. Your Honor, Derek rose abruptly, tone fracturing. I demand to view that. I recall no such sign-in. The judge's brows arched at the eruption. Mr. Thompson, sit and let counsel manage. But Derek unraveled, veneer shattering. Emily, what's this? You hit a snare. Mr. Thompson, Judge Harlan snapped. Quiet or face contempt. Counsel can seek access properly. Victor neared hesitantly. He scrutinized the packed, pallor deepening per page. Back at table, he hissed urgently to Derek, who denied, head shaking. Spectators riveted, detecting spectacle. Muted chats and scribbles filled air as journalists noted Derek's downfall. Your Honor, Victor spoke, bravado dimmed. Client seeks short break for deeper exam. Judge Harlan glanced clockward. Mr. Lang skipped probing for Pact's pre-claims. Victor's hush sufficed. Derek's overconfidence omitted mentioning it. Victor was ambushed too. 10 minutes granted, Judge Harlan ruled. But note, this pact alters claims profoundly. In pause, Derek and Victor conferred tensely by windows. Derek's motions grew frantic as Victor outlined fallout from afar. I pinpointed his realization of scheme's flop. Sandra prepped notes, foreseeing Derek's desperate bids. He'll allege deceit or pressure, she whispered. Spot on. Resumption saw Victor lunge into plea. Your Honor, client feels misled on Doc's essence. Ms. Thompson framed it as loving gesture, not full safeguard. Judge Harlan seemed unmoved. Mr. Lang, implying client signed unread? Your Honor, he trusted his fiancée's candor on scope. I stifled a chuckle. Derek, self-proclaimed deal whiz, now painted gullible. It's titled Premarital Pact, Judge Harlan noted, paging. With advisories for own counsel, waived? Victor fumbled docs. Yes, Your Honor. Notarized with client affirming? Yes. Judge Harlan eyed Derek. Mr. Thompson, coerced into signing. Derek flushed furious. No, but I figured it trivial. Emily downplayed it. Read it pre-sign. Query loomed. Derek scanned room evasively. Silence dragged. Mr. Thompson glanced, he conceded, but Emily called it routine. Judge Harlan's look dripped scorn. You endorsed, unread, sans counsel, now seek voiding for nonchalance. Hush reigned. Even scribes paused, enthralled by Derek's disgrace. Satisfaction surged as he fidgeted. Your Honor, Victor tried last. Perhaps unfairness via imbalance? Reviewed disclosures. Victor scanned. Extensive here, Your Honor. Precisely. Ms. Thompson detailed assets, earnings, expected legacy, client acknowledged review. Among finest packs in my 25 bench years. Derek appeared queasy. The slick operator faced reckoning. Judge Harlan recited aloud. Clause 3, Sub A, pre-wed holdings stay separate. Sub B, marital legacies remain isolated, immune to split. Derek blanched, gripping table whitely. Impossible, he mumbled audibly. Clause 5, continued. Waives maintenance claims irrespective duration or earnings gap. Initialed, witnessed. Victor scribbled desperately. Hunting escapes, but Sandra's foresight sealed all. Your Honor, I rose. May I speak? Go on. Post-legacy 2 years back. Consulted counsel on Pact's shield. Confirmed under Sub B. Kept segregated, unmixed. Final blow, Pact solid. I'd preserved isolation. No claim avenue. Judge Harlan approved. Used legacy for shared costs? No. Salary covered home. Legacy untouched. Derek burst. Lie. She funded trips. Items. Mr. Thompson. Judge Harlan chilled. Out of line. Sit. But Derek raged on. Madness. 6 years merit share. I bolstered her. Ditched work. To fritter my cash, I muttered involuntarily. Ms. Thompson, warned Judge Harlan. Mildly entertained. Victor yanked Derek down. but meltdown exposed core. She ensnared me, Derek yelled. Made me think shared. Mr. Thompson, control or bailiff escorts out. Threat quelled him. He slumped, panting. Harm sealed. All witnessed his essence. The grasping opportunist who'd wed for wealth, feigning victimhood on failure. Judge Harlan perused pacts and, deliberately, air thick with anticipation, calm enveloped me, post months of deceit. Per this pact, he stated, doffing specs, gazing Derek, valid, thorough, enforceable. You claim zilch from spouse's prior goods, legacy, or ventures. Word struck Derek stunned, jaw dropped, incredulous. Zilch, he breathed. Confirmed. Plus, Clause 6, personal debts stay with incur. Ms. Thompson, solo debts by husband, Sandra proffered binder, I relayed via bailiff. Yes, cards, auto finance, botched venture, club tabs, circa $95,000. Victor shrank. His lucrative case imploded. Mr. Thompson proceeded, no assets gained, liable for $95,000 accrued. Murmurs swelled. Someone chuckled, muffled. Derek's millionaire dreams flipped to ruin in half hour. Your Honor, Derek faint, 6 years must mean something. Judge Harlan's grin edged. It does. Costly tutorial in scrutinizing contracts pre-signature. Gavel struck resoundingly. Divorce granted per Ms. Thompson. No transfers to Mr. Thompson. Debts individual. Adjourned. Derek froze, dazed as truth dawned. 6 years scheming, thwarted by overlooked pact. Attendees exited, I lingered, eyeing his crumble. Victor packed hastily, fleeing fiasco. Journalists neared, Sandra fielded deftly. Emily, Derek called as I rose. Discuss, not finished. I faced him last. Derek, ended when you chose fortune over fondness. Pact didn't doom you. Your covetousness did. His visage collapsed under weight. No legacy, no goods. Debts haunting. The charmer met unyielding barrier. Exiting with Sandra. Relief buoyed me after ordeal. Derek's mask stripped publicly. Fate's twist delivered equity. Post-divorce, Derek's world crumbled. $95,000 debts drove insolvency in 5 months. Trashing credit, stripping pretense. Austin's elite shunned him, post-tales of legacy grab. Brandon him, marital warning. Club ousted him unpaid. SUV seized. Stranding him, bus bound. Romance dried, as circles spread alerts on the suave fortune hunter, treating unions transactionally. He relocated to kin in Dallas. Snagged basic sales gig, 47, rebooting amid debt and tarnish, sans grandmother's cushion dreams. I channeled shielded legacy into Thompson Trust, aiding women with premarital pacts and split counsel, thwarting similar exploiters. Reflecting from trusting partner to liberated ex, grandmother's asset wisdom spared more than funds. It freed me from exploitation, where affection was mere wealth conduit.